Okay, guys, for anybody who's new to my channel, one of the reasons I go live on events like this is because of what Rahm Emanuel said
We're
and what
celebrating
Hillary Clinton
Wayfair's
has
fifth.
admitted and what all the psychopaths believe about situations like this. Here we go.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before. You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before. You never want.
All right, so whether this crisis and they're going to make it a crisis, okay? So let's just be honest about it. Got to deal with in New Orleans, 11 people shot, and but they don't know many details right now, but we know how they spin it. So I want to stay on top of this. This is from Fox News.
In Fox News Alert, breaking this morning, police say at least 10 people have been shot in New Orleans. That happened overnight. It is unclear how serious their injuries are. Police say at least one suspect is in custody. It's unclear if they are looking for any other suspects. We will continue, of course, to follow this story, monitor it throughout the morning.
Of course, and we'll make sure we stick it on the top of every 24/7 news cycle so that we can ingrain it into the minds of the people and let them know that we've got to take their guns away from them for their safety.
Good morning. On this morning, approximately 3:20, 3:25 a.m., 8 district officers, well, not just 8 district officers, our contingency that we had in place for the Bayou Classic coverage, responded to a shooting in the 700 block of Bourbon. I'm sorry, 700 block of Canal. As such, we had officers right there within that very block that actually thought that they were being fired upon and took a position to respond to this. At the end of the day, we had 10 individuals that were struck by this gunfire. 2 are now listed in critical condition. 5 were transported to University Hospital. The other 5 are at Tulane Hospital. 2 of the 5, like as I said, in critical condition. 1 would sustain a gunshot wound to the chest. The other sustained a gunshot wound to the torso. We are actively investigating this right now, this very moment, recovering any type of video footage or witness statements that we can use to further this investigation. We asked if anyone here know of anything like that, please contact Crime Stoppers, contact us personally and let us know what it is that you may have seen. This is an active investigation at this time, and we will continue this investigation throughout the morning. I will say again, our officers are out here throughout this entire incident within feet when this incident occurred. Unfortunately, there are so many people out here who are unable.
Right, said must be a gun-free zone. Yeah, you know how safe you can be in a gun-free zone, right?
To determine who was actually firing these shots at that time. Also, we had our partners out here with the state police as well as federal partners. They're out here throughout the night as well. So we're definitely out here doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing with regards to protecting and serving this community and covering this special event. Just we have some individuals that chose to do the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Is there anyone in custody right now? I know one of the initial reports from PIO said there may have been someone y'all are speaking to right now.
So we did detain an individual. This is still in the preliminary stages of the investigation. We do not know if this individual have any involvement in this incident as of right now, but we're still investigating this.
In terms of the victims, I know it's still early, but are they all adults? Are there any juveniles?
We cannot confirm that right now. This is the very preliminary stages of this investigation. We cannot give you the ages because we do not know. Cannot give you the gender of these individuals either.
You said it started from an argument, you said?
How is that? You can't even give the gender? You can't give anything? We're in the very preliminary stages. Do you even know anybody got shot? Are you just making it up? What's up with that?
Is that what it was?
I did not see an argument. We do not know how it started. We do not know it. All we do know is that our officers were in this block, in which time they heard shots fired. As a result, they took a position to try to detain that individual that was detained, as well as help the victims themselves.
When you do have a situation like this, as you said, you've got cops, for lack of a better term, nearly every corner.
Yes.
You've got state troopers out here. Whether it's Bayou Classic, Carnival season, I mean, how frustrating is that for you guys when you're out here and this does happen still?
I mean, this is the message that we've been saying throughout the week. Please, Do not drink and drive. Please leave your guns at home. This is something that we've been messaging throughout this entire week. And unfortunately, we still have those individuals.
Wait a minute. You live in New Orleans and the police chief is telling the public to leave their guns at home? Are you serious?
Who choose to involve in criminal activity.
And again, realizing it's early in the investigation, 10 victims.
Think about this. The cops make a public statement, leave your guns at home, and the criminals are watching TV and they're like, oh my goodness, it's open season. The police chief just told all the other law abiders to leave their guns at home. Yeah, it's going to be easy pickings for us tonight.
Are they all innocent bystanders, or some of them involved with whatever happened?
The very beginning of this investigation, we really do not know any of that right now. The purpose of this presser right now is to let everyone know that we did have 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire, 2 in critical condition, and to also ask that if anyone saw anything, to please let us know.
And just to help illustrate for the public, how quickly were officers there responding to this scene? Just how quickly was it?
They were there when it occurred. They were right there when it occurred. They heard the shots. Again, they were under the impression that they may have been fired.
Wait a second. The cops are on the scene, but you're waiting for witnesses to come for. And so far, it doesn't even make any sense. You had cops right there on the scene when everything went down. You don't know the gender of the people who were involved. You don't know how it got started. You don't know how many shots are fired. You're asking for other people to come forward as witnesses when you already have cops as witnesses. All right, already something's not adding up.
Because the shots were so close.
And just to clarify, no officers injured, though?
No officers.
I just want to clarify. He said the cops. He said his cops were right there. Let's listen to this question and the answer again.
And again, realizing it's early in the investigation, 10 victims, are they all innocent bystanders, or some of them involved with whatever happened?
The very beginning of this investigation, we really do not know any of that right now. The purpose of this presser right now is to let everyone know that we did have 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire, 2 in critical condition, and to also ask that if anyone saw anything, to please let us know.
And just to help illustrate for the public, how quickly were officers there responding to this scene? Just how quickly was it?
They were there when it occurred. They were right there.
They were there when it occurred. They were right there, but we don't have any details. We don't know gender. We don't know how it started. We don't know how many shots fired. And we need witnesses to come forward. Our cops were right there. Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go again.
Again, they were under the impression that they may have been fired upon because the shots were so close.
And just to be clear,
yeah. David E. Burton says, got the guy in custody and still know nothing. That's pretty bad, man.
No officers injured, though?
No officer injured at all. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you all very much.
No officer bumped his head or anything because nobody's coming forth with any details. What's up? It's like, no, we need time to develop our story. We need time to investigate. We need time to go to the press and kind of spin things. You know, we just got to take some time.
And for those of you still watching us live right now on Facebook, you just heard NOPD Superintendent Sean Ferguson give a brief update. Not a lot of details right now. What we do know is 10 people injured by gunfire. He's 700 block of Canal.
I don't know. Do we know that? Is that really the information that we has? Can we trust that information?
Street that is on the French Quarter downtown side of Canal, just near Bourbon, between Bourbon and Charters. Most of the activity is centered around the
Mallard says, respect my authority. Just believe me, our officers were on the scene. We know nothing. We seen nothing. We heard nothing. We ain't got no information for you.
Of the block, it appears at least, where police have put several evidence cones. Unfortunately, you can't see them from this vantage point where the chief just gave his press conference. But again, several evidence cones that generally do mark things like bullet casings were in front on the ground, in the street, in front of McDonald's. Again, we don't have many details just yet on what happened. What we do know is someone, at least one person, obviously, opened fire here. I believe the chief said there was about 20.
Look at all this manpower. We don't know what happened. We don't have any details, but we sure know this. We had to get every available officer on the scene with lights flashing, all these cars, all the manpower, all the overtime. Something happened. We don't know what it was. We got all these people on the case investigating, but we can't give you any more information. It's pitiful.
3:30 this morning.
Why did you even call a press conference and stand there if you don't know anything? Well, we're standing here because we're here to tell people and the public, if you know something, if you've seen something, then please say something. Please come to the police and tell us what you know. Because we sure as hell don't know nothing.
And the end result was 10 people struck by gunfire. We are told, I believe it's 2 are in critical
Kraken
condition.
says somebody did
the remaining
something.
8, it sounds like it is not any life-threatening injuries. Sean Ferguson, the superintendent of police, says that there were actually police here in the block. There were also state troopers here doing patrols, but something still happened. We don't know whether it was a fight or an argument, but something happened that led to gunfire breaking out. And even with all
This is kind of getting comical, guys. We don't know what happened, but something happened. So we decided to call the news and have them come down here. And we got this press conference so that we could tell them specifically that we know nothing. We know nothing.
For lack of a better term, on every corner, there was still a outbreak of gunfire. Sean Ferguson, superintendent of police, says that police were able to respond within seconds of this happening, and they were able to take someone into custody for questioning at least. Now, to be clear, that's not necessarily a suspect just yet. It's someone they're just talking to, trying to figure out kind of what happened here. I did ask him as well if the victims are adults or if they're juveniles. They say they don't have that information just yet. And Sean Ferguson.
I wish this guy had like a comedic bone in his body. It would be so funny to say, okay, let me get this straight. You have somebody in custody, but you don't know his gender. You don't know how old he is. You don't know anything about him. He wasn't carrying ID. You haven't already rifled through his pockets like you guys always do.
And says that police actually thought they were being fired on at first when they heard the gunfire in the area. We did ask him if there were any officers injured.
Yeah, Johnny says we haven't manufactured a questionable lie yet.
There are no officers injured. So again, the latest headline out here is 10 people injured here in the 700 block of Canal Street this morning after a shooting.
No, be specific about it, dude. Be specific. 10 people were injured. And the police were on the scene. They were right there, but they're asking the public to come forward if you're a witness to what happened, because we can't rely on our cops.
We're still trying to get some details as the investigation continues into just what exactly happened. But again, 10 people injured, 2 critically here on Canal Street, 700 block of Canal between Bourbon and Charters, and police are in there. Early stages of the investigation at the moment. That's the latest for now. Of course, we'll bring you any updates as we get them throughout the day on WWLTV.com and later editions of Eyewitness News on Channel 4. But that is the latest for now. This is Danny Monteverde reporting live from Canal and Carondelet for Eyewitness News.
This is Danny Monteverde reporting absolutely nothing because the police aren't straightforward about what happened because they don't know what happened, even though they were right there.
Eyewitness News.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
We are continuing to follow that breaking news. 11 people are in the hospital this morning after being shot on Canal Street during a busy Bayou Classic weekend. At least 2 of those people are in critical condition. Right now, police are looking
H.
for who
Honkler
did it.
says,
Danny
live
Monteverde
with
joins
nothing to report. This is mockable, guys. This is truly mockable.
us live with the very latest. And Danny, I know the NOPD was questioning someone, but do they have any new information about a suspect?
I'm turning this camera around here. There
No
we
new
go. It's a
information
little
yet
bit
about
more
any
clear.
suspects, but as you said, there now are 11 people who are victims in this shooting. The NOPD sent us just a few minutes ago that the update was, at the top of the show, I should say, we had a word that it was 10 victims. Now we have 11. They say 10 of those victims were brought to the hospital by New Orleans EMS, and 11th person brought himself or herself to the hospital, and that's why we now are at 11 people in the hospital related to the shooting. But as of now, no update yet on any suspects. Let's take a live look real quick, though, at the scene out here still. We are in the 700 block of Canal.
We know something must have happened because there's police tape all over the place, and we got a bunch of patrol cars with their lights on, and police are just kind of standing there with their hands in their pockets, looking down at the concrete, kicking cans down the street. So something had to have happened, but We're not quite sure. And now, Danny, I just wanted to let you know that we do have 11 people now in the hospital. We cannot determine their genders. We can't tell you their ages. We can't tell you exactly what happened. So, we're just taking the cops' word for it.
Street, to give you a better point of reference, that is the downtown French Quarter side of.
Guys, this is sloppy. Nobody's on the same page. They haven't formulated anything yet, and it's just pretty sloppy. So far, the sloppiest kind of breaking news I've seen.
Canal Street between Bourbon and Charters. And again, what you see on the ground right now are a lot of evidence cones. Those are generally used to mark things such as bullet casings that police use to
evidence cones with zero evidence. There's zero evidence, zero information, but there are evidence cones on the street as indicated by obviously the evidence cones.
To begin their investigation. There are also still many police officers out here on the scene beginning their early investigations. And as we've been told by police, there is at least one person who they're still talking to right now, trying to see if he or she is connected to this shooting. This all happened about 3:30 this morning, again, here in the 700 block of Canal Street. Superintendent Sean Ferguson says that they don't know yet what led to this. They don't know if there was an argument, if there was a fight, but for some reason, obviously at least one person opened fire, injuring what we now know to be 11 people in the.
Oh, there we go, guys. This is the kind of thing you look for. This is the kind of thing you look for. Militarized police roaming the streets of America. Militarized police. We're on the scene. We're here to keep you safe. We're here to cordon things off. We're here to lock things down. We're here to let you know that we are in control. We can have these weapons, but our politicians are telling you you can't have these weapons. BS. Whatever weapon, let me just be real clear. Whatever weapons the cops and the military have, the public should have. Shall not be infringed means shall not be infringed. You want an RPG? You can afford an RPG? You want to walk around with an RPG? This is the land of the free, home of the brave, not land of the fee and home of the slave. If they got it, you should have it.
Police said they actually thought at first they were getting fired upon, and we are told there was a large contingent of law enforcement out here, a mixture of New Orleans police officers and Louisiana State Police.
That's another thing about government. They got vast resources, unlimited resources, just to throw a bunch of manpower at a situation, and they don't even know what's going on. They don't even know if there is danger. They just received orders and, hey, walk down the street with your AR-15 or AK-47 and just kind of patrol the area right here. Let's get SWAT out there. Let's get the horses. Let's get the dogs, canine crews. Let's get everybody out here. You know how much money this costs to have all these people? All these cop cars represents at least one person, a lot of times two people. You have hundreds of officers out there, and the main guy doesn't know what's going on. Give me a break.
NOPD Superintendent Sean Ferguson spoke just a short time ago. Here's a little bit of what he had to say.
So we did detain an individual. This is still
I know. He had absolutely nothing to say. So you got CNN reporting on it. Nobody's got any answers, guys. I just wanted to. The reason I do these live is because, and I'm just in case you missed the first part of it, is because of what this guy says, what Rahm Manuel says.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
And I love that. I love it when they expose themselves, because that's exactly what happens when you have any kind of event, be it real or be it fake. They're going to stand up there and two things are going to happen. Okay, guys, this is going to make the politicians capitalize on fear-based situations and actually accentuate that fear. And the reason they do that is because they want to take away your freedoms, and they want to use this as an excuse to extract more time and laboring energies, which is money, from people, just average people, so that they can increase their police force, so that they can keep you more safe. So what you have to do is give away more of your liberties so that they can keep you more safe. And as Benjamin Franklin said, anybody who wants to give away a little essential liberty for a little temporary security deserves neither liberty nor security. That's why I want to stay on top of this.
Investigation. We do not know if this individual have any involvement in this incident as of right now, but we're still investigating this. We do not know how it started. We do not know it. All we do know is that our officers were in this block, in which time they heard shots fired. As a result, they took a position to try to detain that individual that was detained, as well as help the victims themselves. They were there when it occurred. They were right there when it occurred. They heard the shots. Again, they were under the impression that they may have been fired upon because the shots were so close.
Oh, brother. All right, so let's just keep our eyes open on this, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream. It's at 20 minutes. Just share this with everybody you know. The key takeaway here, guys, is I don't care what happened. I don't care if it didn't happen. I don't care if there's crisis. I can't say that because the algorithm, I don't care what if 11 people really got shot and killed, if they were it doesn't matter. What matters is how are they going to use this crisis? What things are they going to try to foist on the American public that they always foist on the American public? Got to take the guns. Got to increase police presence. Got to fund the militarized police so that they can roam our streets and let you know that the government is in control. These are the things that they want to do. These are the things that they always do. And they always want to capitalize on a crisis situation and voice the Hegelian dialectic, which is problem, reaction, solution. Whether they created the problem or not, they're going to capitalize on that problem. They're going to accentuate and highlight that problem in 24/7 news cycles. Mainstream media is going to jump in on this, and it's all about taking your freedom and all about taking more of your money. It's about the enslavement of the American people. Okay, so I'm planning on doing a live stream later today where we go over the idiocy of there being so many of us and so few of the rulers. And part of that is the Larkin Rose thing that somebody reminded me about the other day that I had forgotten. But we're going to go over that. It's going to be well worth your watch, guys. We'll try to make it short, snappy, succinct, and shareable. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban live stream. You guys have a good morning.